Imagine walking into a high-end retail store filled with eager customers browsing luxury items, the polished floors gleaming beneath their feet, and the soft hum of quiet conversation in the background. Everything seems perfect, the epitome of elite shopping. But what if behind that perfectly crafted image, something sinister lurks? Jeremiah, the CEO of this prestigious store, is about to discover that perfection is a lie. Underneath the designer labels and sleek displays, there's a hidden truth: discrimination. He's decided to go undercover as a regular customer, blending in with the crowd, to expose the racism embedded within his own employees. Jeremiah, a man of power and respect, is stepping into a world where his own employees may not treat everyone the same. What will he uncover when he's no longer the boss, but just another face in the crowd? What would you do if you discovered your own employees were treating people differently based on race? Would you confront them? Would you stay silent? In this high-end store, where luxury meets reality, it's a question no one wants to answer, but Jeremiah is about to find out the hard way. Stay tuned, because what happens next will shock you. Jeremiah Carter has poured his heart and soul into building his retail empire. As the Black CEO of a high-end retail chain, he's navigated a world of luxury, exclusivity, and cutthroat competition. Every step has been a testament to his hard work, his ambition, and his ability to break barriers in an industry where few people like him have risen to the top. But recently, the foundation he's worked so hard to build is starting to crack. Rumors have begun to surface, troubling reports from both customers and employees, suggesting that something darker is going on behind the store's sleek, pristine facade. Whispers of discrimination, of Black customers being treated unfairly, ignored, or worse, demeaned by the very people he's entrusted with his brand. As CEO, Jeremiah's authority should be enough to put an end to this, but he knows that even his position can't erase the deep-rooted biases within the store's culture. What's more, these biases aren't always easy to see. They're subtle, insidious, hidden behind smiles and polished manners. It's clear that something must be done, but the question is, what? Determined to get to the bottom of it, Jeremiah decides to take matters into his own hands. He can't rely solely on reports and second-hand accounts anymore. He needs to see for himself if the rumors are true. And so, he chooses the only option that makes sense: to go undercover. Jeremiah Carter knows that in order to expose the truth, he must first become invisible. With the help of a professional makeup artist, he undergoes a dramatic transformation. The sleek suits and sharp image of the CEO are replaced with simple, casual attire. His appearance is adjusted, his features subtly altered to blend in, to become just another Black customer among the crowd. It's an uncomfortable process for Jeremiah, a man who has built an empire on standing out, but he knows this is the only way to see the truth for himself. Stepping into the store, he consciously suppresses any urge to announce who he really is. He's not the CEO today, he's just a customer, hoping to see how employees react to someone they don't recognize. Jeremiah's heart races as he walks through the same doors he's passed through countless times as a powerful figure. But today, he's not just a figurehead, today, he's a stranger. As he moves through the store, he notices the subtle glances, the dismissive attitudes that begin to form the moment he approaches employees. Derek, a sales associate he knows well, gives him a quick once-over, then turns away without offering any help. Amanda, another employee, approaches with a forced smile, her tone cold and patronizing. "Can I help you find something?" she asks, but it's clear she assumes he's not a serious shopper, as if he's not good enough for the store. The interactions are small, but each one sends a powerful message. Jeremiah feels the sting of condescension, the unspoken judgment, and it becomes painfully clear that racism isn't just a rumor, it's a reality buried deep within the company's culture. The more he observes, the more he realizes how far-reaching this issue is. What started as a few troubling reports now feels like an unspoken truth infecting the very core of his brand. The deeper he goes into the store, the stronger the realization hits him: this isn't just a few bad apples. The disdain is ingrained, and it's worse than he ever imagined. As Jeremiah continues to move through the store, something becomes painfully clear: This isn't an isolated incident. Every employee he encounters, whether it's a salesperson, a greeter, or even the cashier, treats him with the same cold indifference. It's as if the moment they spot him, they make a silent judgment, a decision about his worth based solely on his appearance. The disrespect is almost systematic. When Jeremiah reaches the checkout, the cashier, Amanda, treats him with startling disdain. She barely looks him in the eye, her hands awkwardly handling his purchase as if he's a nuisance. When she takes his money, there is no effort to offer a polite exchange, no friendly thank you or acknowledgement. She even makes sure to handle his bills with as little contact as possible, a subtle but cutting gesture. This blatant disregard for him as a customer, as a person, hits Jeremiah harder than he anticipated. His chest tightens, and for a moment, he's at a loss for words. The betrayal stings, not only because it's happening to him, but because it's happening in the very company he's worked so hard to build. A company he thought stood for fairness, equality, and opportunity for all. Jeremiah's shock quickly turns to righteous anger. The realization is crushing, but his resolve strengthens. How could this culture have been allowed to fester under his watch? He knows what he must do. The employees must understand the depth of their biases, and he will stop at nothing to ensure they do. The question that lingers, though, is just how far he's willing to go to make them confront the ugliness within themselves. The following day, Jeremiah walks into the store in his usual sharp suit, his presence commanding the attention of everyone in the room. Gone is the disguise, replaced by the confident CEO who built this company from the ground up. The change in his appearance is striking. He is no longer a regular customer. He is the man who holds the power to change everything. With a sense of purpose, Jeremiah gathers all the employees in the back of the store. He's calm, but there's a fire in his eyes that can't be ignored. As the room falls silent, he begins to explain what happened the day before. "I came in here as a customer," he says, his voice steady, but with an underlying weight. "I disguised myself. I wanted to see firsthand how you treat people who aren't recognized as important or worthy. And what I experienced, what I witnessed, is not just upsetting, it's deeply troubling." He pauses, letting the gravity of his words sink in. The employees shift uneasily, their eyes avoiding his gaze as the tension in the room begins to mount. Jeremiah describes the cold treatment he received from Derek, Amanda, and the others, detailing how their actions revealed their biases. His words are measured, but they cut to the core. "You don't even realize it, do you?" he asks, looking each employee in the eye. "You treat people differently based on the color of their skin. You've allowed this to happen under your watch, and this behavior will no longer be tolerated. Not here. Not in my company. You all need to change your attitudes, and you need to do it now." The silence that follows is deafening. There's no escaping the truth. Jeremiah's declaration is not just a warning, it's a demand for change. The room is heavy with realization, and the employees know that their actions have consequences that will ripple through the company and beyond. Jeremiah stands before his employees, the weight of his words still hanging in the air. "Now it's your turn," he says, his voice unwavering. "You've seen what it's like from the outside, but now you'll experience it yourself." He instructs each employee to undergo the same transformation he did. They will be disguised as black customers and sent into the world to experience firsthand the discrimination they've been dishing out without even realizing the impact of their actions. The challenge is clear, and the employees, once so confident, now find themselves nervous and unsure. One by one, they enter the makeup room, their faces filled with hesitation as the process begins. As they sit in front of the mirror, they can't help but feel vulnerable. The transformation is not just physical, it's a chance to walk in someone else's shoes, and it's proving to be more difficult than they ever imagined. Derek, the once arrogant employee who had treated Jeremiah so coldly, is the first to face the public. As he walks through the store in his new appearance, the stares, the whispers, and the blatant disregard from customers hit him hard. He tries to hold his ground, but the discomfort is palpable. His pride begins to crack, and by the time he returns to the back, he's visibly shaken. Then it's Amanda's turn. Known for her dismissive attitude, she steps out onto the floor with trepidation. The moment she is ignored by a customer, then followed by a harsh comment from a colleague, she breaks down in tears. For the first time, she feels the weight of prejudice and realizes the emotional pain that comes with being treated as less than. Jeremiah watches their reactions silently. The powerful message hits home for them all. Discrimination is not just a matter of words or actions, it's a deeply emotional and psychological burden that leaves lasting scars. The once dismissive employees now know what it feels like to be looked at with prejudice. It's a lesson that will stay with them forever. The employees return to the store, their faces somber and their bodies heavier than before. The weight of their experiences still lingers, and Jeremiah can see the shift in their eyes. Something has changed within them. As they stand before him, there's a noticeable quietness in the room, as if they are bracing for what comes next. Jeremiah wastes no time. He makes them face the gravity of their actions, not in a way that scolds, but with a calm and steady voice. "You've seen what it feels like to be treated unfairly," he begins. "Now you need to fully understand the hurt, the humiliation, and the pain that you've caused others." The room is thick with silence as each employee processes what they've learned. Derek, the once arrogant worker, steps forward first. His usual bravado is gone. With sincerity in his voice, he looks at Jeremiah and says, "I never knew how deep it went. I'm sorry." It's not just an apology to Jeremiah, it's an apology to the people they've wronged. Amanda, too, lowers her gaze, shame clouding her eyes, but the shift in her demeanor is unmistakable. For the first time, she truly gets it. One by one, the employees express remorse, realizing the impact of their behavior on both the customers and their colleagues. They now understand that this isn't just about following store policies, it's about something much deeper. It's about respect, dignity, and treating every person with the fairness they deserve. With a new sense of purpose, Jeremiah begins to implement empathy-based training, introducing a culture centered around respect for all customers. The days of ignorance are over. This store and its employees are ready to change for the better and for good. Jeremiah's vision for change doesn't stop at his store. He realizes that to truly make a lasting impact, the effort must reach beyond the walls of his business. He gathers his team once more, and together, they begin to work with other local businesses, determined to eliminate racism and discrimination in their community. This is no longer just about fixing one store, this is about healing a community. As weeks go by, the transformation in his employees becomes even more profound. Where once there was resistance and defensiveness, there is now a deep sense of responsibility. Derek, Amanda, and others, who had once been a part of the problem, now become passionate allies in the fight against discrimination. They use their own painful experiences, the ones that opened their eyes to the realities of racism, to educate others and drive real change. They aren't just learning to change, they're teaching others how to do the same. Jeremiah and his team start seeking out businesses that may not have even realized the extent of their own biases. They don't come in with accusations or anger, but with understanding. They speak from experience, showing what real change looks like and how empathy can completely transform a customer's experience. Through these conversations, they spark the beginning of a ripple effect, one business at a time. The new mission is clear. Jeremiah and his team aren't just transforming one company, they're on a journey to reshape the community, spreading empathy and respect wherever they go. What started as a fight against discrimination in one store has become a movement, one that's determined to make a lasting impact in the world beyond their own walls. Word of Jeremiah's mission quickly spreads beyond his store and the local community. Other businesses, inspired by the transformation they've seen, begin reaching out for help. They want to implement the same changes, to break down the barriers of discrimination that have been silently hurting so many. What started as a small effort in one high-end retail store has now turned into a growing movement, with the potential to reach far beyond what Jeremiah ever imagined. But Jeremiah knows their work is far from over. While the impact so far is undeniable, the road ahead is still long. The battle against racism and discrimination won't be solved overnight, and it won't be solved by just one company or one community. However, they've proven that change is possible. Through empathy, understanding, and accountability, real progress can be made. As the team reflects on everything they've accomplished, there's a sense of pride, but also a recognition of the deeper responsibility they carry. They didn't just change their store, they started a movement. The impact they've had so far is only the beginning. Now, they know their mission is to challenge discrimination everywhere, in every corner of society. It's no longer just about their business, it's about creating a world where empathy and respect reign, and where no one has to face discrimination because of the color of their skin. This is just the beginning of something much bigger. Thanks to Jeremiah's bold leadership, the store and its employees have undergone a powerful transformation. The deep-seated racism that once plagued the company has been addressed head-on, and now, the employees are not just following rules, they're becoming active advocates for equality. The changes made within the store have set the stage for a ripple effect that extends far beyond its walls. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you ever witnessed discrimination in your own community? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this important conversation going. Your voice can help spark change. If you believe in the power of transformation, share this video with others to inspire more people to take action. Subscribe to stay updated on more stories of change, and together, let's continue to fight for equality in every corner of our world.